Right. Do you guys think this is working? Nah. Hi there, all of you good people on the internet, and welcome back to another episode. I don't know what this called. But today I don't even know what day has it been since the COVID thing started. It's kind of confusing. You're sitting at home all day and you do nothing, you're snacking, you're binge watching, but it kind of gets me thinking. And I believe all of you guys have been thinking the same too. What's gonna happen after the pandemic? Well, it could be after the MCO is over, or maybe in total, like 0 cases throughout the world. What's gonna happen in the world? So this is what today's episode is. I'm gonna talk about the things that probably gonna happen. We're just based on logic, we're just based on how things should be in the world, after this pandemic is over. And for these type of changes, it covers every single sector of the world. Like for example, the government, like for example, the businesses, the community, the culture, everything. So probably I'm gonna discuss this into 5 perspectives. Number 1 is government. Number 2 is economy and recession. Number 3 is technology. Number 4, medical and science. And lastly, number 5, cultural change in lifestyle. Let's begin with number 1. So let's just take this into context. Government tends to be like a leader for a country, and for any government in any countries, they have to take full accountability for all the pandemic that happens. What are the things that they need to overcome? What are the plans? What are the recovery? And so on and so on. So as for Malaysia, we have new government. We have a new PM, Prime Minister, like weeks before the MCO start or the COVID thing outbreak, making chaos in Malaysia. And this pandemic thing tends to become a really, really big test for any leaders to overcome. To be honest, they are doing quite a good job in managing this pandemic, which compares to other countries, they are in the midst of chaos, which kind of out of our minds. And this pandemic thing is still ongoing, but all I can say is that if we manage to beat the pandemic, if we manage to drop the case to be 0, and we maintain our status with economics, it kind of portrays that this current government is the true leader that we need in the times that we need. So regardless of who is on top, he is the most trusted leader for the people. Now let's move on. For number 2 is recession and economy. So probably everybody's already thinking this. Recession are imminent. And there are a lot of things that are gonna change to the business and to the people. Everything from SME to big businesses, all are having their declination in economic activity. From there, it could result in few things. From employees' point of view, they could receive pay cuts in terms of monetary or benefits. Or maybe some employees will not be receiving any source of payment or benefits at all. Although it does sound sucky, but just expect for it to happen. The logic is because right now there are a lot of companies are not operating as usual. Imagine a company with 30 employees and they do not have any sort of income as of now, but they still need to pay for like rents, salaries, and a lot of stuff. It will give a big financial impact to the company. The general possibilities for any companies to survive is if they have any financial contingencies. For example, if they save a sum of money in case of emergency, in case of natural disaster. But I believe most of the companies are expecting to stepping back few years. Imagine if a new startup, after 5 years, they had accomplished a lot of things. But unfortunately, this pandemic thing came at this time. They're probably gonna set back few years or probably reset. That is just a basic template of the possibility that could happen to any companies. But all companies have a different margin which they put into their gross income, net income, as well as salaries. And one thing that I think is gonna change in the future is a more defined of a rakyat group like T20, M40 and B40. There are some disputes, there are some, back and forth, and the rakyat tak puas hati, so probably they are going to redefine it again. Let's just wait and see. This thing is so berat. Now for number 3. So when these things happen, the pandemic, everyone is staying at home, what we realize is that thank God that we have internet in the house. By having internet, you can maintain engagement, maintain connections, you can still keep your business forward. You can do a lot of things, you can do a lot of research, news are really easily comes to you. So that itself is an appreciation to the technology that's happening. And from there, it kind of gives us a healthier digital lifestyle. And I believe some of the people, especially the older generations who always reject the idea of learning the technological stuffs, or probably just learning how to control C, control V je pun kan sebenarnya, they will have a new level of appreciation and will give a bit more efforts into learning all these things. We also kind of aware that how important cybersecurity is. Oh, duit dekat CIMB kena deduct. By using Zoom apps, they can access to all of your personal details. Whenever these two started to scratch your back, then finally you're gonna react to it. But it has been there for so long, and I believe for all the industry players in the cybersecurity sectors, they will have a lot more exposure, they will have a lot more opportunities to grow and build a much more sturdy and stabilized system in the future. And that will be a really, really great improvement for a country. This is so like a nerdy talk, but let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is medical health and science. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I do sometimes read about the COVID cases outside of Malaysia, what's happening in Italy, what's happening in the US, in other countries, and I'm kind of glad what our governments are doing in handling all these COVID cases. Some of the countries, their hospitals, they need to be closed down because they don't have any facilities to treat all these COVID patients. Some of the countries don't even have the face masks. After all of these things are over, I believe we can improve a lot more. We will invest possibly into any kind of pandemic situations that gonna happen. For example, all hospitals will probably have one specific team to handle pandemic cases. Yelah, kalau tak ada cases, these doctors can still do their doctor stuff. All countries will probably invest more into researching in a research team. Let's say in the year 3000, there's a new virus outbreak in Africa. This research team from Malaysia will then dispatch over there to do research, to do case studies, to do all the possibilities, prevent from the things to, become an outbreak. And I'm not sure if this is already there. There will be a specific pandemic course for medical students, that could happen, or that's already happened, I'm not sure. Or if that exists now, well, after this, it will become a much more, popular course, popular subject, similar to legal or accounting. Well, those kind of changes that's gonna happen in medical health and science. Let's move on. Lastly, number 5. People, cultural, lifestyle change. Well, for this, everybody's probably expecting it. After this, what's gonna happen? Kenduri kahwin. Will people gonna go? Salam. Will people gonna salam? How about interviews? How about Semaya Jumaat? How about a lot of things? Because believe you me, things are gonna change. Yeah, whenever you go on a public transport, will you touch the railings? Will you not? But then will you have to balance it like the Naruto Shippuden guys? So people have a much more appreciation towards hygiene, and that is the most important aspect to prevent any viruses in the world. Wearing masks when you need it to, when you have the flu, you must wear a mask. And whenever you sakit, go to the hospital, go to the clinic immediately. And this gives the appreciation towards the employer as well. Whenever your employee is sakit, hey, please go to the hospital, please go to the clinic, have a check. Instead of, ala sikit je tu, jom meeting. You know what I mean? The world's first problem is to pick where you want to go eat. After this, it probably become easier. So when you want to go to eat, which is the place that is more hygienic. Dekat tempat ni ada sabun tak dekat sinki dia? Dekat tempat ni ada sanitizer tak kat tempat dia? Dekat tempat ni cleanliness dia A ke B? C? And people will cook indoor a lot. Public activities or social gatherings might be toned down a little bit. Companies or organizers will think thoroughly before they want to organize any events. And organizers for anything are like mushrooms for the past few years. Kalau event running, there are a lot of ridiculous event running yang ada dekat luar tu. Like for example, 8 years ago, the only running events that I know was like, Standard Chartered, KL Marathon, Twin City Marathon. But for the past 5 years, there are a lot of ridiculous running events. Running with costumes, running with office chairs. Those silly things might be lesser after this. And not to mention after this, all of our parks, taman-taman, sungai will be a lot cleaner after today. And I'm not sure if all the states government will implement this, but it is important to sanitize and maintain all of the taman permainan because most of them are in pretty bad shape. And lastly, and the most important part, for the things that we're going through right now, I believe that everyone has an understanding on one concept. Change is the new norm. We cannot stop any changes from happen. Right now, we're experiencing a change in lifestyle, which is the most difficult type of change that can be done. But all of us need to learn to accept it. If you're living comfortably before, just be prepared if you guys gonna, take a few steps back. All we need in order to overcome any kind of bad changes to happen is to have a plan, is to have a strategy, strategy. You guys with family, with partner in life, you guys can discuss together, okay, these things are gonna change in the family and we need to adapt to this and that. And all of us needed all the supports that we can get to overcome this. Well, that's about it for today. Alright. Well, anyway, you guys, I would like to ask you again, to anyone who haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Please like my videos, please watch it. And I do appreciate any feedback as well. Let's just say the format of the videos are boring, or the way I talk are boring. I kind of like rambles a lot, and it takes a toll into my edit as well. Please do let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate all of you guys' support. Thank you, and especially this time, this moment of time, the dawn of new era, I couldn't appreciate you guys more. Well, that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is another day and this is another video. Don't forget to have fun.